Hey, welcome back. We got a special guest today. Okay, you can't see who he is yet, right? You can now. He is one of the 5 ever ultimate agents that we just launched and did the show with. Dude, how was that experience as you look back at like the ultimate agent and that mansion and the mentors and the leads and me having a mic on you like this all day, every day, and a camera in your face like this and a GoPro in your car? What was that whole experience like?
Dude, the ultimate agent was like insane. People like always ask me like, how was that experience actually?
Yeah.
Dude, it was, you were able to see the finished product, but you definitely like being in there intense, dude, like cameras in the face, mentors. I was talking to Tony and Joe today, and they're like, how was it like going in and seeing the mentors? Like, was there a little bit of nerves? And honestly, I did. I think about it. I was like, honestly, coming in, like, these are the people that I saw all on your podcast, all on your, like, I know their stories, I know who they are. Yeah. David Price, fastest millionaire. Nate Offer, like, just an absolutely tenacious guy. Roger Short, listening to the life insurance podcast. Brian, Nate, like your dad.
Nate, you got tenacious. You know, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure he watches this.
But it was a little bit like it wasn't just that. Like, it was trying to like make sure to make a good impression, because it's like I want these relationships to last longer than 4 days.
Yes.
Right? And so I think that was one of the biggest things, like even in the show, that I took away, that it like boosted the network like insane. Like I'm sincerely grateful for you. Oh, 100%. Easily.
Cool. I love
Easily.
it. What advice would you give to somebody out there that would like to be on the next one?
Think creatively. I have given a few pointers of like, if I were trying
they should hire you as a coach to
honestly,
like get on season, because he wrote the playbook from a creativity standpoint. Like, you can share some ideas you did, and I can too, but he wrote the playbook on getting someone's attention to be on a reality show like you did.
Well, that's what I'm like. I was thinking about different ideas, what I would do differently to do good on the next one.
Does that mean you're going to do some more stuff to try to get on the next one, or no?
I mean, I might try to test it and see like how much attention I could grab, because I've realized, especially like knowing you a little bit more, there are some things I definitely would do. One of them, I'll just share one.
Yeah, well, go for it.
And if you're listening, like, do it.
So that means like 10,000 of you are going to just do whatever he says, which is perfect. As long as it's not like you're all going to send barbecue to my office at one day.
Don't do that.
Like, at least spread it out over the course of a few weeks.
But if you're trying to grab attention, I would get 3 people from the staff, emails, and send like 500 emails at once.
What?
And just grab attention. Why exactly?
How do you even do that?
You find a way. But it's like, that'll grab attention of like, it would not like where the point of it's annoying, but like grabbing attention. Everybody in the office is like, what in the world? And they're all reading why they should get picked.
It helps to know your name. You know what I mean? It helps to know your name. It helps to get the staff's attention. What was it like to? Well, before I go there, what's some stuff that happened that they don't know about
on the show?
Yeah.
Well, if you listen to my podcast with my wife, I talked a ton about this stuff too. But from unknown to unforgettable, but
just a little drop there, no big deal.
But no, so like, there was a point I wish Dylan, if you're watching this, like, I wish you would have put this in there. The pizza party. Dude, how did the pizza party not make it?
That's a good point.
So I'm trying to think outside the box. How creative can I get in terms of getting
But you're saying that like he's not, like he's sitting right behind the camera.
I didn't want the audience to know.
Who else will be back there?
No, yeah, so Dylan, now that you're watching.
That is funny though. So explain that, the pizza party.
Yeah, so the pizza party. So I'm literally, first one call close ever. I'm talking to her and she's like spewing information, right?
Yeah.
Her meds, and like after she gets done, after I literally already selling her the policy, I'm trying to like
You were on there for a while.
It was like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the app maybe took like 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, and you were sitting right by the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
And she's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend lives in this apartment complex. I grew up in this place. My aunt, uncle, grandma, not grandma, she was the grandma, but like my grandkids, my daughter, son, all these different people are there. And I'm like, how many people do you know? She's like, I know the whole town. So I was like, let's throw a pizza party tomorrow. And so we planned the whole pizza party. She's like, oh my gosh, yes, please bring brownies, pepperoni pizza, sodas, all that stuff, dude.
Cool.
So we got it all planned. Shortly after, like, got cut, right? So
Dylan said, dude, you don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. Okay.
so that was an interesting thing. I think another one is if you've kind of been following me on this journey, like the biggest thing that I took away, that was a really cool moment just between us, was like that point that, like, being able to actually, like, see you write down your goals. It inspired me too. And so, like, you even saw it yesterday, like in my car. That was inspired because you wrote down your goals. So
cool.
When I was door knocking businesses, like cold, and doing like 30 businesses a day, I would look at that and be like, if I say it every day, it'll happen, right? And it was cool to be able to see, like, how much influence you've had on my life, and like how I was able to, like, write it down every day, and I did it, like, I still do it religiously every day. It's changed. Yeah. Because, like, what I was doing, like, I make 100,000 this year. By this time, I'm like, I've, like, almost already surpassed that, and we're like, we're got a lot left in the year. So it's like now it's changed from like 100,000 to 1 million.
Well, yeah, because you wrote like 16 or 19,000 like last week, right?
Yeah, 16,000 last week. And
most agents start doing that in a quarter. You know, honestly, like, you're not. You should be, but you're not. How did the show help in that regard, to where now you're producing at a higher level than you were?
Well, it made me, like, the shattering limiting beliefs. Like, when I was, like, driving home after I just sold a policy, I was feeling decent, right? 2,500 for the day. After the first day one, right? I'm like feeling good, like, okay, cool. I've never done that. I've done that one time before the show. 5 weeks into the business, did it one time, and I mean, since then I've almost hit 10K. Like, last week I did 9,000 in a day. So it's like just different stuff like that. It's like the limiting beliefs now, it's like it could happen, and it's like, dude, for sure. So I think that, and massive urgency. Every second of every day, like, it's not just one, like, day. Like, a day you could get so much done. Ed Milet talks about getting the most out of each day because he breaks it into 3 different segments. 6 to 12, 12 to 6, and 6 till when he goes to bed. And so he breaks it up, like, he's going after it hard for these 6 hours, breaking it down even to smaller, the minutes, what he's doing. And being able to, like, really, like, be so intentional with your day. And I've, like, practically how I've done that is, like, hire out small things. Like, I just brought in some people to really help me with different small things that I do every day. Calling the carriers, like, dude, it sucks. Especially trying to push a lot of business through. It's like, that's a full-time job for somebody to do, right? And so checking commission statements, checking this, that, whatever, making sure I'm getting paid how much I should. And so hiring out the small tasks so that I can focus on presenting, focus on continuing to build brand. Like, even now, I probably spend 2 hours a week on social media, like, on, like, trying to build the brand, like, just filming, and then I just send it off to Miles, my editor, and he just does it in posts for me.
It's cool.
So I don't even have to post anymore, which is nice.
How did you waste a lot of time before the show that you don't now? As you look back at, like, how you were as an entrepreneur before, I mean, obviously it's increased your urgency. You're getting more done. You're producing more. Do you feel like you wasted some time before? Yeah,
I mean, I still do. In all honesty, like, I'm not perfect in any means. I think I've gotten a lot better at it, but I don't think, like...
Do you think you're the closest 21-year-old in the history of the insurance industry to be close to perfect?
No. No, not even close. Not even close, dude. Like,
I love it.
So far, I feel like I have so much, like, because right now, like, there's so much momentum going, especially since Ultimate Agent happened, like, so much momentum. It's like, how do you keep that going? And I think, like, hiring people to help continue to feed the fire of, like, doing small things so you can do super exciting things. Kind of like what you've done. You've done a really great job of that. And so I think really trying to replicate that in the small scale so that I can build out to do that big scale soon.
Yes, and I shared some of that at dinner last night, you know, just some creative stuff we're working on that we haven't even released yet, you know, like the big tour we're going to do with a 19 passenger jet and all that kind of stuff. What does being around bigger thinkers do for someone that maybe's not a big thinker yet? you know, and there's always a new level of big think, right?
Yeah.
So even those that think they aren't actually yet, right? So
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, I'm not either yet, you know what I mean? But how does as there's new levels, how does that help?
Dude, it's helped a ton because it's not success like in wealth isn't taught, it's caught.
Yeah.
And one
say that
of
again.
the wealth and like success is not taught, it's caught. You're not gonna go into
Caught.
a book. You're not gonna go and like, hey, this is how you do this, whatever. Like, you're just not going to. But like associating yourself with people who you want to become, like, I'm not gonna be pulled down by you, like, or people around you. I'm gonna get pulled up.
It's good.
And so I think like that's always my mindset, like changing the way I think. Like it used to be like a lot to stomach to spend $1,000. Now I could spend like a lot of money really fast because I know what I've seen is that it comes back fast.
It is weird that that's the case. I know some people would be like, you know, Cody says that, but he's only doing it so we give him money, you know?
Dude, it's not. Like, in all honesty, if that's you thinking that, like I did have some of those thoughts before.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, that's a selling tactic. That's good. I don't know if that's true, but it's like I've seen you implement that more than like on a way larger scale than like even me or like people like me.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, like I want you to like do this for 10 grand. Well, the value that you bring is like worth 500 grand, right?
Right.
And the stuff you're doing is like you're spending 50 grand for an hour or like whatever with people, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think that was something that I like saw and I'm like, I want to implement that like immediately, is that you're doing it on a larger scale and asking people to do stuff like even on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Like you're doing exactly what you preach, which I'm like,
It's cool.
I've seen that and I'm like, dude, that's what I've been implementing a ton.
It's fun.
Yeah.
What's the, as you look back over the last 4 months or so, since we really got to know, I mean, we've known each other all year, but we really got to know each other a lot the last 4 months.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest thing you've took away or learned or implemented that maybe others can learn from and do as well?
Everybody has fear. Everybody does. And I wasn't sure, and like even I don't know if you remember the first like night that like on Ultimate Agent, like after we were just talking on the couch, and I'm like, what are some of the things that like you're fearful of? And what I realized is that like everybody faces fear, honestly. Like everybody does on like a large or small scale, but like you, like Roger, Nate, like David, everybody faces fear.
True.
And a lot of times because it's like you guys are so much on camera and like social, like not many people are able to see that or like just get to know that, right?
It's a good point.
And I think what I've realized is that all successful people face fear and face risk, but it's how you like adjust to it is a huge thing, and like embracing it with a whole heart and putting your soul, passion, everything into it, and being like, dude, if I fail, I learned. I really did.
Yeah.
Like if you spend $1 million on a conference and you fail, you learned $1 million worth of lessons in that, so you can make 5-10 million out of it, right?
Yes.
So I think that's kind of my mindset in a lot of different things. Like if I mess up, all right, I learned and grow and move on.
Yeah.
And it's like constantly going after massive self-improvement over and over and over again, daily. It's a daily
Strong.
chase.
What advice would you give, in closing, last question, what advice would you give to an agent out there that's struggling? They haven't found a home, maybe their confidence is shot, they don't believe they can become who even you are, right? Which is wild to think about, you know? What advice would you give to them to help them out?
Well, I mean, I bet you remember, like,
Yes.
I mean, I honestly, like, just thinking back, like a year ago, I was at Starbucks. Like, I've never, if somebody asked me to go straight commission, I probably wouldn't. And like now to do that on like such a large scale in such little time, right? Like not even just helping my family eat, but like helping other families eat too, because of like what I'm trying to do with where this is going.
Yeah.
Like, dude, everybody starts somewhere. The best stories have the craziest obstacles, and I've like really taken that from Nate Offer. Like going to SWAT, that's one of the biggest things I realized. Like if you have a sucky like if there's stuff in your life that's going like horrible right now, crazy obstacles, imagine the story you're gonna tell later on a stage. Like like for me, the biggest thing right now is I'm literally about to move out of my 500 square foot apartment this week. But that's the story I'm gonna tell, is that I $500 square foot apartment. I had to put $1,000 on $1,000 on of lead spend on my credit card. I paid for a fire ticket when I'd never made that much in my life or whatever. Like doing different things like that, those are the types of stories people are like, whoa.
It stretches you too.
Crazy. It does.
You can share it and it makes you better, you know? Yeah.
It makes you more relatable, and I think that's what really attracts people. Because if you're too far from somebody, like, oh, he's like a god type.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody that's like that. I just think of like one of the guys that I was like, oh, he did $100,000 his first 30 days, right? And I was like, I honestly was struggling with a lot of self-image and like a lot of like, dude, I suck. Remember, like we talked about it a little bit, but I'm like, he's doing that, and I just did $9,000 in a week. Like, I suck, dude. I was trying to do 30K.
What do you guys think? He does $9,000 a week, $19,000 a week. Does he suck? I don't know. Let him know in comments below. Maybe give him some love, right? Because we all need it. If they want to reach out and learn from you and work with you in some way, how do they do that?
Yeah, no, they follow me on Instagram, TikTok. You know you're already gonna do it. You're already seeing me everywhere. Just follow me. Show some love in the comments. But yeah, Johnny Nitafan, JOHNNY, Nitafan, Nitafan 1 on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. From Unknown to Unforgettable podcasts. Great content there. And also, reach out to me on my number, 505-238-4062. The person that brought me into this life insurance business, he was the only one that said his number on a podcast. And I said, whenever I get on your podcast, I'm never going to forget that.
Wow.
Because I know there's somebody out there that was in my exact position, broke, less than $1,000 in my account, 500 square foot apartment, just got married.
Yeah.
And I needed hope. And I was able to reach out, and I'm able to be here today because of him. Mason Van Meter, so appreciate you, brother.
I love it, man. Appreciate you. Give it up for the ultimate agent, Johnny Nitafan. Appreciate you, bro. We'll see you on the next one. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're gonna love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Like, what did you do to go from 10K, 26K, 60K, 60K, and then boom, over 100 in 2017 with that full year? Almost doubled. Yes, you had time on your hands, but what else did you do different?
I think